tall balls, Blake and I, we were whiskey connoisseurs all through.
So everything you just said, I'm going to need you to say it all again. But we'll start the episode. Are you guys ready? All right, you ready, Lucas?
Let's do it.
All right, we've been talking about doing this episode for a long time, so super excited about it. Another episode of Whiskey and Real Estate. I'm co-host Tone the Boss. This right here.
Lucas Burrington with Burrington Real Estate. Today we're busting out, being that we got the K&K Real Estate side of the Burrington Real Estate. So it goes K&K Real Estate and it's DBA'd, so doing business as Burrington Real Estate. And the K&K is Kennedy and Camille, my two daughters. They've been with me through the whole journey and being able to see. But today they are not drinking whiskey. Tone and I will be.
Absolutely.
Being this is kind of our special edition here, we have a bottle that one of our investors gave us. It's a $200 bottle of the Macallan Scotch whiskey. Never been a huge Scotch guy, but this might make me there. This is very smooth. It's very good. It's a 15-year-old whiskey. It's been aging. So, Tone, cheers.
Cheers.
Another episode.
Yeah.
Camille.
Never drink this. This is why we're...
It's
not
smooth,
good for
man.
you. It's good for us. It's good to us. But not good for you guys.
Right.
So, girls, again, we've talked about having you guys on forever. If you can introduce yourselves real quick and just name something you like to do.
I'm Kennedy, and I like to dance.
Okay.
I'm Camille, and I like to play sports.
All right. And you guys have been around the real estate business for quite some time now. Talk to me a little bit about that, please.
When we were little, we would always just follow our dad and go on all of the showings with him. And then, so we just kind of know everything about it now.
Yeah, we would always just follow him and just follow his lead and do what he does.
Whoa. Follow lead. Okay. There, I will agree when you guys first started, you followed the lead, but I think like by now in like, let's just give an example of this last year or two when you guys do come out. I think you guys beat me to the door. You guys want to do all the unlocking of the doors. Camille will gladly lead him around the house or go turn every light on. And I'm not even allowed to ask the final three questions at the end of it, which you've developed a fourth question that you ask because you're a Christmas freak like your father here. So I think you guys kind of take the lead when we go out and do showings together. Kennedy's kind of a little more reserved. She'll turn the lights on and she likes to... Kennedy is designing houses in her head as she's walking around, where Camille wants to sell. So don't undersell yourself and... hey, don't act like you've never been on a podcast before or on TikTok or anything like that. Relax. Give yourself some credit.
Does he give you guys commissions?
No.
What about cleaning houses? You get paid for that yet?
Yeah.
Do you guys see yourselves as future investors, buyers, sellers?
I've thought about selling real estate, like when I'm older yet.
Yeah.
I just don't know yet.
Yeah. Well, one cool thing that I think connects us all, actually everybody in this room, is you guys were part of a dance workshop with somebody named Essence from Davenport. And, they threw that at the Diplomats gym, and my daughter got to be there, and, we met Essence, and now she ended up taking dance classes. So is dance something you guys are, super passionate about?
I am.
Yeah.
She's not so much.
Not you. Okay. Well, I just think it's super dope that something like that connects all of us, and it's just fun and something else to do. So, Lucas, go ahead and drop some knowledge about getting into the market.
So, update on today's market. It is kind of frozen right now. There's not a lot of activity going on in today's market. It is probably one of the slowest I've been. I've seen in years. But as we've discussed in previous episodes, this time of year is the slowest time of year. July sucks. Everyone is on vacation. They're just getting back. Now this next week is going to be, it will pick up this next week because everyone wants to be moved in before school starts. Usually they use Labor Day as kind of their deadline of getting people moved. So kids are relocating schools. In order to relocate schools, you got to have addresses changed. So between the rental side and the real estate side, everyone, it's your last minute shoppers, is what I call it. And you won't see the market pick up again until the first wave of cold air comes through. It's when they're, oh shit, we got to get our houses sold before wintertime.
Yep. Or
we got to get moved before wintertime. So I think we've kind of predicted the forecast pretty well this last year and a half that we've been doing this podcast. Kennedy, Camille, you guys get to see the stress side of your dad. And you always know this time of year we're running real tight and we talk about school shopping and all that good stuff. And, that's one thing about the girls we've always taught them is get out there and work. But from your outside looking in, Kennedy and Camille, you get to see me interact with investors. You get to see me interact with the buyers. You get to see me interact. What is your overall view of what we have to go through on this side? Because you get to see all the emotions.
I think that you have to definitely be a calmer and well-collected person to do it because there's a lot of people who are just rude for no reason. And,
yep.
Yeah, it's definitely the harsh side of it because you have to be the one kicking them out of their houses and stuff.
Yep, on the property management side, you bet. Kennedy, what's your biggest take that you've seen outside looking in?
Being able to multitask is very important.
Yeah.
You have to be able to think about a billion things at once while focusing on one thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I hope my daughter's as understanding. Well, because even just with music and podcasting, recording, and running a business, I have to spend a lot of time not at home. But I feel like because of that, the time that we do get to spend together, we get to do more fun things and it's more activity based. How do you feel like obviously he's super busy, but it seems like you guys have a really good grasp on time management and whatnot. Is he good with time management?
No.
No?
That's what you asked.
Lucas, your response?
I get shit done, and that's on the time that's given. So I think I am because I think there's a lot of completion stuff, but it's a lot of cramming. Real estate's a lot of cramming because you're at the mercy of so many different uncontrollable items. Anyone that's getting into real estate or anyone that's been in real estate can say, getting the deal put together is the easiest part of the transaction. The hardest part of the transaction is having to wait for the inspections, the appraisals, the closing companies. Everyone's got to be on the same page. So we spend a lot of time after we do our busy part of showing the property and getting the offer put together. That's the easy part, but that's our main job is to make sure that is now we have to switch mind goals is to keep everybody pleased.
Yeah.
Because we got to keep the closing company happy. We got to keep the lawyers happy. We have to keep the abstracting company happy. We got to make sure that it looks great for appraisers. We have to please everyone through the process to keep the whole deal together to the closing time. And when someone says, guess what, you get to be my friend for a week type situation, it's bullshit because we are literally, it could be a drawn out 6-month process or it could be done in 45 days. So I think you guys, Kennedy and Camille, has done a fantastic job of joining me on how creating relationships. Mm-hmm. They've been with me since I was in the banking world of volunteering and lending helping hands and always helping people that are in need and the importance of what a relationship is.
Yeah.
I think that is, we've talked about it through all of our episodes about relationship building and being able to do it. Kennedy, Camille, what's kind of your favorite things that you've got to do where you see we get to go out and build relationships or volunteer or what's some of the favorite events that you guys got to go to?
I liked when we handed out stuff to businesses that helped us and just showed our appreciation for them. And when we run booths and fairs and all of that.
I was going to say the same thing, or around Christmas time when we get to help people and the business is seeing their faces and be like, oh, thank you.
Yep, we gave out 150 blankets to the homeless shelters. We've gone down and served food. We've gone out and we've done a lot for the domestic abuse shelters around town. We've donated a lot of stuff for that. We used to bring all the clothes from our houses. When we'd outgrow stuff, we'd take them down to the abuse shelters and the homeless homes. Those are all things that they've all been a part of. They enjoy doing. So it's, relationship building 101 when it comes to life and real estate and everything you guys do. Yeah.
That's awesome. One thing I like talking about the highs and the lows. So let's talk about, Lucas, I think you can help me a lot with this and relate. Let's talk about avoiding burnout. You laugh at it. So I just did a little event, Iowa Summer Jam. I managed 30 artists, 20 staff members, 10 major sponsors, and over 300 people in the audience. I basically do my events on like a 90-day period. So right now I'm like, I keep track. I'm 100 days from the music award. So in 10 days, I'm going to buckle down. But the last week, 2 weeks since Summer Jam, it's just been me and my daughter hanging out, doing activities, bike riding, basketball, traveling, stuff like that. How do you manage when you got all these properties that you had to go crazy working on? Do you just go right back in, and do you stay focused? Do you take time off? What does that look like for you?
Oh, gross. We used to take time off. I used to go on fishing trips. Where I'd go quarterly, I'd go on my fishing trips. I used to, obviously we got deer hunting. We usually take that. Then we got, we do some traveling here and there down to like the Ozarks and whatnot. But the last 2 years it's been tough starting the brokerage and just going through life in general. So, I mean, the burnout it's every day. So, I mean, the burnout lately has been, how do you recover instead of how do you just, avoid the burnout? Yeah, it's going to happen.
Okay.
I mean, it's unavoidable when you're managing multiple businesses, multiple realtors, multiple investors, and kids. Yeah. So the burnout's going to happen. It's just how quick can you recover? It's one of those, when I boxed, and when you get into a boxing ring, you're going to get knocked the hell down. Someone's going to clock you.
Yep.
Or when you get in a fight, you're going to get beat up the quickest. How quick can you get up is the question.
Get back up.
Yeah, yep.
You girls into basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah? No? So we got a dancer and a basketball player. Have you played for your dad?
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, it's good. Like, it's like 80% good.
that's majority. That's a good number, Lucas. You'll take that.
Don't hold back. I'll take that.
But the other 20% is I'm always going to be the one pushed the hardest or beaten down the most. And especially because, like, I'm his daughter, so if I mess up, then I'm going to have to run, and if someone else messes up, they're just getting corrected.
Lucas, comments.
Well, I come across it naturally from...
You asked for this.
Yeah, she's not lying. And we just, we have high expectations for our kids. I mean, there's a lot of people that say, I am very hard on Kennedy on the school side of things, and on her dance side, she's a top tier performer in the dance studio, and she's also damn near a 4.0 student. So I have those expectations. If you want something in life, you got to work for it. It's not going to be handed to you. And Kennedy has something that is $700 a month that we have to pay for with dance. So she's going to go earn that.
Yeah.
And she'll earn it in the classroom. I'm not asking her to go out. She'll work all day if I ask her to. She nannies and she cleans houses, and she'll help wherever I need help on that. But education always comes first. So she better hold damn near close to that 4.0 or we're going to have issues. Now, Camille, on the other hand, I just hope she goes to school and she gets along with people and doesn't beat up an instructor or anything like that. So I got different expectations for both kids, and I think that's life in general.
Yeah.
If you try to have a cookie cutter approach to your kids, you're messed up.
Right.
Because Kennedy and Camille, yet so very similar, they are so different. They are definitely my mini-me's, but
certain aspects.
Oh man, and every investor is the same way that we deal with. Every buyer and seller that we deal with, it's the same thing. How they react to one thing to another. I mean, this whole texting life that we're in is bullshit because you can't judge the room.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the biggest purchase of their life. And how are you going to know if they're upset or okay? I mean, guess what? It's not a big deal. You got a water in your basement where someone else will be like, oh my God, my house is floating away. We better walk away from this deal. You're right. We can't fix that drop.
Yeah.
So you don't know that.
You can't assume that someone's yelling because it's in all caps. Like some people really just type that way.
Yeah, man. I try to teach everyone a text message and an email is a follow-up to a phone call. And that has to be how it is in our life. And the same thing comes with parenting, and I think the same thing should come from kids to their parents because I never know when you're being a smart ass or when you really do, I love you, Dad, or is it I really do love you, Dad, or are you just trying to get me off the phone? So, yeah.
Yeah, we're older. It's harder to read the room via text.
So, Camille, with basketball, let's get back to that with the basketball standpoint. Do you think that what you're learning in sports, and Kennedy, you can chime in too, what you're learning in dance is going to help you in life and why?
Yeah, especially because of the environment I'm in. You kind of, with the people I'm with, you have to read the room. Mm-hmm. And especially with attitude and being respectful and listening to coaches and seeing how sports can get people out of a dark time if you really focus and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I feel like with dance, it's taught me how to persevere through things when you can't get it the first time. You keep working towards it. And it's also taught me professionalism, how important it is, and just how the way you look can change the way someone views you.
Well, and get into that. It's not so much the way you look, the way you present yourself.
That way.
Yeah. Because the presentation of how you present yourself, I am a prime example of how I hold myself and how I dress myself are two different things. You guys know I hate being in shirt and tie because I was a banker for years that I was always suit and tie. I will never be suit and tie. And if you go look at 90% of the realtors, you see they're all dutied up every single day and they're dressed in nights. Half my clients wouldn't even work with me if I dress like that. Yeah. But how I present myself is completely different than that because I like to present myself as I got 15 years worth of experience. I've been there. I've done it. I've failed. I've succeeded. And I'm going to fail again. I mean, that's just life in general. So like what you're saying, the professionalism has always got to be there. And the way you present yourself is, I'm super proud of both of you, how you do that. So, and Camille's biggest flaw is how she can present herself on and off the basketball court because she gets into her feels. So,
speaking of feels, what's you guys' favorite thing about walking through or helping sell a house?
The biggest thing is how he's helping someone. That if there's something that they need and this is gonna help resolve it. I don't know. It's problem solver.
I've seen people get excited over their house. They're wow, you could see them planning it in their head.
Yeah.
That's the cool
Do you guys help with that? Do you tell them, oh, you can put this right here?
We always tell them about their Christmas tree. That was the fourth question he was talking about.
So get into that, Tone. That's a good question. So they've taken over a lot of showings when they did come to me, and they would come to open houses and sit with me at open houses too. And when they walk, what do we say? I mean, how do they know they got to buy that house or should buy that house? Even an indecisive person. So what's the question?
All three of them.
You know them better. Right?
Okay.
Okay. The first question is, could the house that you're in and we're walking, could you see it as could you represent it to your dream house, and then compare it, yeah. Would you be mad if it went on the market? And
if it's sold, yep.
Yeah. And then if you wait, what was the third one?
Can you see yourself living in it?
That. And then the fourth one that I made up is, where would you put your Christmas tree?
Nice. Nice.
And I'll be honest, I don't know why I never added that fourth one, because we've always had the question, like she said, is can you see yourself living in it? But I've never extended it until she said, okay, where would you put your Christmas tree, to this one couple? And she's like, oh my God, I love these windows over here. I'd put it in front of this window. And then you got the one gal that was talking about, oh, well, we could decorate that fireplace, and the mantle and all that. I'm like, man, this is...
It's an opener, because once you place the Christmas tree, well, that means the couch has to go here and this has to go here. Oh, this is going to fit perfect right here. And they start painting the picture. I love that.
Yeah, and they've taken the role on it. I mean, I get memories that pop up on our Facebook from Camille, you and I doing Facebook posts and doing videos on Facebook, and it's unbelievable how time flies. Yeah. Tone, what's one thing you and your daughter do that is kind of your guys' thing? Like, that's your thing.
Oh man. Everything from movies, honestly. We just went to another one last night. We saw Inside Out 2. Nice. And we went to Despicable Me last week. But almost every week we go to a different movie. Or we'll sit at home, we'll play the game, we'll go bike riding, roller skating. We do that every other week. So we got a ton of different activities that just, honestly, she makes me a kid again, you know? Right. And it's like my, you know, as like fathers, you know, we have to be like you guys protectors and your safety net. But we work so hard that after the work is done, my daughter is like my safety net. Like, that's where I go to, where I escape all the business, all the BS that we have to deal with, and just kind of have a good time with her.
Yeah. That safety net's key. I mean, I this last couple of weeks have been super tough, but yet super rewarding, because you got someone like Chuck that we've talked about on many podcasts.
Yes.
He's been busting his ass on these 7, 8, 10 transactions.
That's crazy.
10 transactions, and so double banging. We double banged on 6 of them. Double banged on all 10.
Nice.
And it got delayed. It got drawn out. I mean, when you're sitting back and you're looking at a commission checks of, you know, upwards anywhere between 15 to 30 G's and whatever not coming your way, and you see those get all pulled from underneath your feet when you think you were going to have closings, and every single one of them was delayed in closing. Yeah. And I'm not talking like delayed at 4 or 5 days. I mean, you're talking weeks delayed.
I think there was one point we were recording, me and you had like 27 pending that had all got pushed back, that all should have been closed. So, I mean, it's definitely a part of the business, not only being patient, trusting, but like Chuck is all in. Like, he calls me every day. It should be today. It should be today. Like, Chuck, it's been a month. Like, just push it forward a week. He's like, but it's supposed to be today, or we just need this one last thing. And you know, that's kind of part of the process. Is like he really put all his eggs in this basket and like really bet on himself. So like, not only am I beyond proud of the dude, but like seeing it finally pay off for him, and seeing that everything he worked so hard for, you know, he pulled up to where I was, got the check, shows me the check. Like, I didn't even tell you I was here. He said I had to search your location, and and
he deserved it. I mean, we busted tail on it to get it to where it needed to be and get it to a closing table. Everybody in the room was happy, so it was. That's awesome. It's where it needed to be, and as a broker, you just sit back and you're like, oh shit, you're just watching your kid grow in front of you.
Exactly.
So it was cool on that aspect of it, but getting into the family and whatnot is I have. It was 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, it was the first time, and I can't name how long, that all 3 of us got to sit on the couch together and kind of conversate and fall asleep. And that was 2 nights ago. We all 3 put our feet up, had conversation, and looked at each other, and we're like, oh. But we needed it. I mean, we needed it. It's one of those that you kind of lose track of some of that stuff, and I'm fortunate enough to have someone in my life, like a Monica or Camille and Kennedy and whatnot, where if I need to rest my head somewhere, I feel comfortable doing it. But I don't take advantage of it enough. So, I mean, creating that net, that safety net.
And for us, I feel like we kind of make it a reward to get that time.
Exactly
like, so it makes us work harder, because it's like we have to earn that time. Like I want to, get everything done so I can just focus on you. I know me and you have talked about like a certain time that like you're unavailable, the do not disturb. Like
Shit, I try. I really
it's
do.
tough. It's really tough because I was telling one of my friends yesterday, like although I don't have a set time I clock in, I never clock out. Like
Right.
I'm always working. So, the times that, all right, we're on the basketball court or we're roller skating, I can't have my phone. And that's like a reward for me. But before I get to that, trust me, I've got like 20 things done that day and accomplished. Everything's lined up. And then I reward myself with that time.
Well, and it's crazy. The cut loose period is like I got a couple buddies that when we go fishing, we get no reception, so I don't have a choice.
Yep.
I don't have a choice. We're in the middle of Canada and we're fishing or we're right on the border. And they think I'm like, what is that? You got epilepsy or narcolepsy where you just fall asleep?
Yeah.
Because my body doesn't know how to shut down. Or Camille and Kennedy have seen the other side of it where I get a cut loose. And I get a little carried away when we get a chance to cut loose. But like at the Ozarks, you get very little reception too. So we cut loose, and boy, do we cut loose! And so
it's nice, man. And it's guys like us, like we almost have to force ourselves into smelling the flowers, like to sit back and just breathe and take it in and know that we got something great within family. And even with the work that we do, like we're really blessed to be in these industries and do what we love. You had mentioned how, after Chuck's things closed, everybody was happy. I have a policy that I'm not doing anything where it's not win-win-win for everybody involved.
Yep.
If it's win-win, but this person's got to lose, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want one person to have a bad interaction. I mean, it's part of life, but I'm not going to walk into a situation where they're going to have a bad interaction or somebody doesn't feel as valued as the rest of the people in the room.
So Kennedy, Camille, going to you, this is what 14. You're 14, so 14 years into real estate now, pretty much. Because we started selling in Sac City, and that's your first day out of the hospital was in Sac City. So we started selling real estate out there, and then here we are now owning our own brokerage, named after Kennedy and Camille, you two.
K&K.
K&K. What do you think has changed from what you guys have seen, or what do you think you've liked out of what you guys seen on the? Just give me your overall perspective of what you guys think of the last 14 years of
real estate.
Well, and just us,
the business,
us, of what you've seen,
family.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since you switched to your own brokerage, you have had a little bit, but not a lot, obviously, but a little bit more downtime. Like you're able to like focus more on things you want to focus on, rather than for a different company. It's been really cool to like watch you grow, like with that. And then I think, especially when I was little, like my favorite thing to do with you when you're showing houses and stuff is go to the really big houses, like the really expensive ones, and see the people.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool to see that now we have like way more access to stuff. Like I remember when we were just in the blue truck, just driving around everywhere we could be, but now we have vans we pass with our names on it, and they're going to houses and stuff. So I think it's really cool to see like you have your own stuff and you have way more like advantages, and like it makes it easier for you.
Yeah, well, we get to touch a lot more people, and I mean, our policy is the Burrington and the real estate side of it is to be able to help as many people as we can, and that if that means extending a hand to reach out, and that's where the touching comes into it. It's not physically touching someone; it's kind of emotionally touching someone.
I knew when they were.
I had to get there. I'm like, come on, Camille. I knew out of the two. That's
what
the
you
one
doing?
I had to explain. Yes, this is when I say touch, I'm not touching someone, Camille. I am emotionally connecting with someone. Man,
I love it. All right, so the big question: when this guy retires, you guys gonna keep K&K Realty going?
I don't think he's gonna retire.
He's immortal.
So you got two guys that run their businesses here. What questions? This is your floor now.
Yeah.
What questions do you guys got?
How do you like get into it? Like what's the first step?
To getting into real estate?
Like to own your own business.
Oh my God, Tone, where do we even? First step is
Believe in
what you're trying to do.
Yeah, don't start a business just because I want to start a business. Start a business because you already love what you're doing. You learned about what you're doing. You've done your research, and then me personally, I started mine to help other people. Like
Right.
I had good experiences with music, but I turned it into a business so I could give those experiences to other people. So I say know that you're doing the right thing. That's why I got into it.
Yeah, I the belief in yourself and the belief, because you're taking a huge risk.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you get into business for yourself, and especially when you want to start a business, you get into cliche, find a niche, figure out where you can help someone where there's a lack of help, or where you think you can do something better. So, but they always say if you're doing something you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. And so, if you take that metabolism, yeah, burning calories over here as I talk. But if you take that mentality that, I'm going to do something I love to do for the rest of my life, you'll never feel like you work today.
And there's nothing wrong with working a 9-to-5 regular job. And I recommend that so you learn the aspects and the ins and outs of business. My best experiences from a 9-to-5 was learning what I wouldn't do as a business owner. So I strongly suggest, working a regular job first, finding the things you like about it and the things you don't like, and you can kind of model your business on, well, I would never either treat somebody this way or I would have this person learn that. One thing I think me and Lucas both have in common is like every role and every position within our business, we also know how to do. We also have experience, so we can speak to it versus we just walked in, I'm the boss, you guys figure this out, you do that. Like we know how to do everything. We can show you, and we're willing to step out in the field and do any role at any time.
Well, and the biggest thing I can tell you guys with starting your business and just generally in life is don't be afraid to fail. We talk about it when I'm coaching. We talk about that these are the times where you do fail because it costs less. And you can recover, and your recovery is a lot quicker, and you can make a bigger impact when you fail. For any business guy out there that's successful in business, I guarantee he's failed, if not filed for bankruptcy at one time or another and rebounded and gone. Some of your biggest corporations have filed for bankruptcy and they're now back thriving.
Yep.
Some of your most successful, you go to, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, filed for bankruptcy.
My favorite artist, 50 Cent, he's filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, you get into, he's been a real estate mogul for his whole life, and he's failed because we're at the mercy of the market. So you just can't be afraid to fail. Take that risk, be able to put your face out there. Go to that left hand that you're scared to use in the basketball.
He's coaching right now.
Yeah, get into that dance move that you didn't want to challenge yourself to do because you thought it was too hard. Just don't be afraid to fail. And the ones that poke fun at you because you did fail, they're the ones that are afraid to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else? What other questions you guys got? Your floor.
What's your first, how do you rebound from that? How do you take a step back and realize what happened?
You have to learn that lesson ASAP.
Yeah.
That is going to be you got to be able to weigh your successes and weigh your failures and ask yourself, oh, that hurt. Why?
Yeah.
It's no different than falling. Why in the hell did I just fall?
Yeah.
I tripped over that rock. Well, I wasn't looking. I wasn't paying attention, Kennedy. That's why I fell.
And even with the fall, cutting your losses is super important too.
Yep.
Because you could fall and then you're falling, but you're pulling everybody and knocking everything over. Just fall. Just let it happen and learn from it. Okay, I fell because I misstepped, or whatever the business move was. You took that chance, analyze it, but don't dwell in it too long. Once you learn from it and learn how to grow from it, take that as take that as the reason this experience happened. Like a lot of times, like obviously in business, you don't want to fail, but when it does happen and it's a surprise, now you can plan for something better. And you can take that with stride. You really can analyze the reason behind the failure, and it can give you a bigger opportunity, a better opportunity. And sometimes it's better that you failed at the time you did versus maybe you would have bet it all later on that same thing that you didn't bet on before.
I've had so many clients come to me, and Chuck and I talked about this last night, that he's been trying to get this one gal to invest. She's got the opportunity to invest. She has the means to invest, but she keeps missing the opportunity because she's afraid to take that jump into real estate. And I talk to her every year for the last 5 years, and now I still hear from her today saying, man, I should have got into it when it was hot. Man, I should have done it. Don't ever have the feeling of regret.
Yeah, regrets or not, just go for it. Even if it doesn't work out, like, go for it. You know,
believe in yourself to be able to rebuild. Yeah. So if you fall, you fail, rebuild, go again.
Yep.
What other questions you got?
What if you just like lose motivation? Like, what if you just lose it? You don't want to do it anymore.
Got to ask why.
Yep.
Sometimes
go back to the why.
Yep.
So for us, I think we look to our kids, we look to our family, and this is why I have to keep going. Even when you feel defeated, this is, okay, I shouldn't do this anymore. I shouldn't try harder. Look at the people why you got into it in the first place. Look at the people that you want to motivate, that you don't want to let down. And also, you have to do stuff for you as well. You have to do it because you love it. Like, don't continue to do something you don't like because of, I don't want to let that person down, but I don't even like doing this. Like, you have to be honest, be open. And sometimes you will disappoint people by saying the truth, but it's better to say the truth than to lie and force yourself into something. But when you're in a situation where it's like, I know I could do better, but I'm just tired of this, that's when you look at the why am I doing this? Why do I keep getting better? Why do I keep working harder? And also make sure you're doing it for you.
Yep. You once again, you don't love it, Camille, and you fall out of motivation, and you got to figure out what your original motivation was, like Tone's saying, the why of why we're doing this type situation. And if it ain't worth it, then don't do it, But at least you tried it type situation. So it's okay to lose motivation, but don't ever lose the motivation without having to recap it. Because once again, that's your learning lesson. Even if it was garbage and shit happened and you failed, go back and ask why you failed, and then move on with the same thing. Try to find what rejuvenated you to begin with. Where did you find your motivation to begin with? And if you can't find it again, then figure out what makes you happy. I've always told you guys, and you guys seen me going through some stuff over the last 10 years. You've seen me go through a lot of stuff where I always tell you guys the why I do my things, but rebounding is always important. But what else do I tell you? You do it because you love it. Do it who I do it for. It's always for you guys of what. Sometimes you just got to turn your cheek too. Take a little slap on the ass and move forward. What other questions you got, girls? Your time, K&K.
I had one that I forgot.
If you can say one thing about our journey that we've had, name it up in one word or two to three words, our journey over the last 14 years, what would you say, Camille?
Probably teamwork, belief, and hard work.
Nice.
Yep, don't be afraid for hard work.
Love that.
What you got?
I'd also probably say hard work. I would say learning. And I would say change.
Don't be afraid of change.
Yep.
Tone, what do you got? What's your journey? How do you summarize your journey so far, man? You are what? 28 years into music? What?
Something like that. Yeah, man. 2 decades into music. Next week, I'll be 36. So, been doing music since we were 14. And the most beautiful part, I would say one thing is consistency is one of my words. Yeah. Because I'm still winning with the same people that we started in this basement. Chuck's still a part of the music. He's making the beats. My boy Ike, he was on the very first song I did when I was 14, and he was on my biggest record I ever did when I was 30 that got placed on the NBA. So like to still win with the same people and to keep lifelong friendships and just have loyalty. And me and him just dropped a joint album that's actually going to be our first gold plaque album. So like we're still all winning together. So consistency, hard work, and family. Like these guys are my family, and that's never going to change. So yeah, those are my three. What you got, Lucas?
Family. Always pivoting. Always be able to pivot. And be a chameleon. The ability to adapt to change in your environment and whatever not, you'll be just fine. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you do. So, going off that, girls, from an outside looking in, we like to sponsor and always help our local businesses and our small businesses. You guys just had the opportunity to see Summer Jams for the first time. You got to work a booth with me at the Summer Jams, which that's his gig. What'd you all think now that you guys have seen the studio? You've kind of seen his stories. You got to see all of his some of his singers that were out there. What's your recap? What you think?
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. It was like a really cool experience because it's like for Summer Jam, it doesn't matter what if we seen them before they got really, really up there, before you got crazy famous.
Yeah, I saw
you guys get there.
We got there right at 4.
4? Okay, so you guys got to see Essence.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder who else was around that. I think I did a performance. So yeah,
we all stayed till 10:30. So
okay. We got to see everything.
Yeah, we got to see. We got to see everyone.
That's exciting.
When we tried to leave just to go grab something to like a full meal, and Camille, we couldn't get her and Tashi off watching the artists on stage. So when we were trying to originally leave the first time, it was that gentleman and his girlfriend. He was singing to
Asia or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly
So,
what you're talking about.
yeah. So we couldn't get him off. Couldn't get him off the thing. And Kennedy was like, "Camille won't leave." Blah, 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 blah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it was a cool event. It was awesome that I got to bring my daughters to.
Yeah.
So, kudos.
All right. Well, what was you guys' favorite thing? All three. What was your favorite thing about Summer Jam?
Summer Jam. It was just it wasn't very just straight and it was all upbeat and it was all different types of music and it was entertaining.
That's what I was gonna say is the different styles, getting to hear different things.
Nice. Lucas, your first T1 event and multiple sponsors.
Oh yeah,
thank you.
Yes,
but you finally got to
attend. Yeah, I enjoyed the fact that they got to experience something different. I was pleasantly surprised of how good some of the artists were as well. I mean, they were fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think the most exciting thing I had about it was the opportunities that are there. I mean, there's so many opportunities for yourself and me as a business owner that, I mean, it could just be bigger and better. And it was such a great time. Yeah. So, I mean, all in all, I mean, the service was fantastic. We had our own bottle service at our table. So I think we had a good time with that. And no, it was a good time. I cannot wait for the award show.
Yeah. Music Awards, October 27th. It is also family friendly, but you're probably gonna.
I don't know if it's family friendly for my girls because it's at the casino at Riverside.
No, this one is at this one's in Waterloo, at Cedar Falls area.
Yep.
The casino isn't far from there, so I know a lot of people are going.
Right.
But yeah, this one will be a little bit north. So.
Got you. Well, that'll be fun too.
Yeah. It's
kind of
gonna
venue
be a good time. It's actually nicer than the Riverside one. They made a crazy great offer. But it's a place called Bienvenue. It's connected to a Holiday Inn, not far up the road from Lost Island and the Isles. So
got you.
Yeah, we're gonna have a real good time there. Man, this every episode I probably say this is my favorite episode. Yep. But the beauty of this, getting the family together. Like I said, he talks about you girls nonstop every episode. He's like, one day I'll show you guys what the K&K is really all about and what I do this for. So yeah, it's been a true pleasure having you guys on.
Non-scripted. They had no idea they were even coming on.
Yeah, I think they're like, yeah, we can watch. Nope. I've been waiting on this too long. It's gonna take me a second, but let me set up all the mics and cameras.
Well, it just goes back to our life because Kennedy and Camille. Kennedy texted me at like noon. She goes, "Okay, we're ready." And I knew Camille said she wanted to go to work with me today when she got out of bed finally.
Yeah.
And so when Kennedy's like, "We're ready," I said, "Who's ready? What do you mean?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Me and Camille, we're ready to go to work." I'm like, "Okay, I'll come pick you up."
Yep.
I made it there 2.5 hours later. And classic of Lucas being on time, you know.
Oh, man. Yeah. You're always on time. You might not be working hard enough. Huh?
Yeah, thank goodness. But
yeah, this was really
that's a good
great.
episode, Tone. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys letting me steal your dad to do something fun like this. And I appreciate like the business we do that we're able to bring our daughters to work and see what we do and hopefully take some nuggets out of it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, girls, for
Thank
putting
you
up
guys.
with me and this. So, I mean,
You're welcome.
love you all. Let's cheer it up and
Yeah.
call it an episode.
I like
Till
it.
the next one.
Until the next time.